communicating more effectively when you have to cancel or change an appointment. So for example, this is just one of my things I noticed with people, and I didn't know it myself at first years ago, but until I became aware of it and thought, what would be better and how does it look better on me, how it looks on other people when they do it versus us having to take more time to, ask for more things and to get things more clear. So for example, I'll say that I had two gentlemen who wanted to host, we put together a workshop. I told them to give them a confirmation letter. I usually send a confirmation letter within 24 hours of the event. And at the top of it, within the third line, it says, in bold letters, after you read to the end, please reply to this email to confirm. So I have that in the beginning, and I also have that to the bottom. I said, what else can I do to be able to let people know that, hey, I got this email. I need to take another action step to be sure to let the other person know that I've read it. But I also take the next step, and I actually text 24 hours in advance. So after the email is sent to confirm, because it's a confirmation email, I text them to be sure that be on the lookout for an email with a confirmation email in regards to final details. Sometimes there's, steps they need to take to be prepared, as well as payment options. So I took the time to do that. Then I get a reply. It says, oh, Carrie, we have to schedule, we need to pick a new day and time. So I'm thinking, well, if you kind of knew this in advance, I'm sure they did to some extent, why didn't they go ahead and let me know ahead of time? I know, it doesn't always happen perfectly as it could be, but I know and trust that all of us would love the fact that people could actually do that and us to do it better ourselves. Yes, I know last minute things can happen, but take the time to say this next step, this is what's important, is this next step that I feel we could be better at. Is being able to say, Carrie, I'm sorry I can't do it. I took the time to look at my calendar. Are you available this day, the same time next Monday and Wednesday? Just for an example. Oh, okay. So take the time, if you have to cancel something, look at your calendar. Look to see what other days and times you have available. Most likely, let's say, same time that you were already going to be ahead already beforehand. So this way you don't have to change the time. Let the give them 2 dates at least to say, does this day work better at the same time and place? This way you've already taken the time to respect their time, so we don't have to keep going back and forth, saving more effort and having to find out when and what date. So be more responsible, guys, and take the time to look at your calendar when you have to cancel it, just like the dentist's office. Hey, I can't, or my nail appointment, I'll say, I look at my calendar, because I do have to do that in a couple weeks, and say, I always give her at least more than 24 hours, as I know how it feels when people do it to me, so again, how we can do it better. And I say, I'm looking at my calendar for Monday, and I'll say, are you available? If I am, I might say, how are you available Monday afternoon versus the morning, which my appointment is, or I might say Tuesday or Wednesday, same time. Or I might also say to her, my calendar might be more open. I might say, what's going to be a couple of dates and times that work best for you. But often I'll say, I look at my calendar. This happened a couple of weeks ago. I looked at my calendar and said, are you available like Thursday at 2 or Friday at this and this time? So she chose one of those two. Or I might say, if none of this work, let me know. But taking the more responsibility of your time, and if you have to reschedule, give that person, at least hopefully you can do the best 24 hours in advance. As soon as you know, take that time right then and there and look at your calendar, see what you have available, and reach out to that person and take the time to say, I know our appointment's next week. I know I have a last minute schedule conflict. That's always a good one. And by the way, these are my availabilities for these 2 days. And does that work for you? Let them respond. So what are your thoughts on being more proactive and taking the time, and when you have to reschedule something, personal or professional, at least take the time, look at your calendar and get a couple of dates in mind that you could also reach back to them immediately and say, in a nice professional manner, acknowledging you have an appointment, but again, I had to reschedule. Does this work for you? So how does that sound? What would that say about you and how you're valuing your time as well as others? I trust to be much more effective, right? And they would feel more professional and feel more about you in a more professional manner. So what are your thoughts about doing that and how you could do it better? I'd love to hear your comments, your feedback about that. And of course, share this video and see you on the next video.